Hey everyone, so for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I got this look with literally not a single new makeup product. The only new thing is my haircut. I got a haircut and a blowout today and I was like, Amanda, if you think you're not going to take advantage and film something today, then you are wrong. The one day I need to film like 4 videos is the day where I have an awful hair day. So all of these products in front of me are not new. You guys have probably heard me blab about them many times. This could be like a full face of Holy Grails, a full face of nothing new, but I wanted to incorporate it into a makeup look that I wear all of the time. So this is also not just my standby products, but this is kind of like my standby makeup look. Very soft, kind of winged out look with a glossy lid, soft glowy skin, creamy cheek products, the whole 9 yards. This really is like my kind of makeup aesthetic all wrapped up into one video. As a whole, I hope that you guys enjoy it, and if you do, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That way I know it has felt really good to go back to my roots, go back to the standby products. This was definitely a treat for me, so I hope it is for you too. All right, so first we need to prep the skin. We have Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I'm just going to put this right onto my skin. I need a little bit of hydration. I can tell that my skin is a touch dry just from being out and about. Whenever I need my makeup to apply really beautifully, buttery, it's just one of those products that does it for me, and it always performs beautifully. And that is one of the little strings that ties all of these products together. I need for the products to really perform the same every single time. I'd certainly say that a pet peeve of mine are products that don't perform the same every single time. One day look really good and then the next day they don't. Okay, so we're now all prepped. Here's another favorite for you guys. And I'm really excited about this video in general because I was about to think, like, to say, you guys are probably tired of me talking about this, but if you clicked on this video, you probably aren't. You probably want to hear about all this stuff. And that makes me very happy because I love ranting about products that I've used for a long time and that I really love. So this is the Shiseido Synchro Skin, and this is the Radiant version. I also absolutely adore the original. As far as Holy Grail foundations, the Shiseido line I think is the best because the Radiant is so good for normal to dry, and then the original is great for normal all the way down to oily. So there's really like a foundation for everyone. The shade range is good as well. Immediate, beautiful, natural looking medium coverage. And I just find it's really difficult for me to like find anything that I don't like about it. I just want a good base down. As far as products that I wear foundation wise that I just need to know that it's going to look good, it's not going to cake up. This is one of those foundations that really moves with your skin. And that's something that is really important to me when dealing with base products. I need them to move with my skin, and the technology behind this foundation I still believe to be super innovative. You know, there's a lot of brands that come out with this technology and this ingredient and this foundation. This to me actually performs beautifully and has something different. I would say that as far as like a long wear but natural looking makeup product goes, this has to be like my favorite ever. Again, and all of this is while saying like this does not look very apparent or heavy on the skin. As far as concealer goes, the Kosas Revealer Concealer, yeah, I love it. Bought a new one recently, here it is. So as far as concealers go that give you a medium coverage, a skin-like natural appearance under the eyes that looks hydrated, but it's not too dewy or way too sticky under the eyes, this one I think is the best. And I also Absolutely love it because I have hollowness under my eyes, I have deep set eyes, and this is one of the only concealers that gives me coverage and doesn't exaggerate the hollowness under my eyes. It actually helps to really lighten up the area and kind of conceal the hollow. And not all concealers that are very brightening can do that. I know it looks a little bit weird, but I let this sit, and I do this typically when I'm doing my makeup because I get more coverage this way. And I also find that this will help your concealer last longer because the makeup's going to kind of, again, set down a little bit into these spots. And these are the spots I would say need the most coverage anyway. Then we're just going to put the excess onto the rest of the eyelid and under the eye. This is the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pen. I've had this for so long, like at least 2 years, and I still have so much. I've been trying to use it up. It's one of those brow products that is quite like a soft pigmentation, which I really like for my brows because I feel like sometimes it's really easy for me to go overboard. And because this is kind of a soft pencil texture, actually the texture of this kind of reminds me of like a brow powder. Because of that, I'm able to get like a super natural look in my brows. And this is the soft brunette shade. And now just blending out the concealer. There really is not another concealer that can conceal that hollow the way that it does. And now let's get into some cream bronzer. So this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick, and this is the shade Light. I also have the shade Light Medium. I wasn't sure what shade I wanted to go with today. So the Light Medium is more of like a sculpting shade, like truly on me, whereas the Light is a little bit more of just like a bronzer kind of look. I don't know, I think I want to do a little bit of sculpting, so I'm going to go in with Light Medium. And what I'm going to do is just take this brush, which is, actually this is kind of a newer favorite, so my bad on that, but it is like my favorite brush, one of my favorite brushes ever. It's the Rare Beauty foundation brush, and I'm just going to take some onto the brush and stamp it. Like, it's such a beautiful, beautiful bronzer because it is one of those really beautiful creamy formulas that still manages to adhere well to the skin. So a problem with super creamy bronzers sometimes, that sometimes they kind of move around and you can never get a perfect blend with them because sometimes the makeup under will start to shift a bit, but this one just nails it. The formula is very, very good. And I also recommend the powder bronzer as well from this line. I think it's also beautiful, and that is saying a lot because I gotta tell you, I am not a huge fan of most powder bronzers. And just doing the same thing over here. It is just really a joy to apply makeup when you like are set up for success and you know that it's going to look good. So next is a blush from Milani, and this is the Cheek Kiss blush in the shade Merlot Moment. Now I haven't used this one specifically in a while, but this is still a formula that I'm very familiar with. I feel like this is such a gorgeous color for this time of year. It just reminds me of like cranberry sangria, like holiday parties. I think that this color is so pretty. So I am going to put some on with my fingers on the cheeks, and then just going to use the same old brush and pat it in. This formula is a little bit more of that juicy kind of cream blush formula. It's still very thin, but it is more of a translucent product. Like it has more of a translucent base to it, I should say. You can kind of still see your skin peeking through. I think that it's a really, really beautiful blush. I'm gonna add just like a little bit. I just dipped right in here because now is the time of the year to add that color. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have been really pressing product into my skin, And that is a surefire way of making sure that your cream products blend really beautifully on the skin. So the base is looking good. I am going to skip powder because, to be honest, I really don't wear powder quite often, you know, on an everyday basis. So we're just going to go right into the eyes. I do have cream highlight that I want to apply, but I usually like to do that towards the end of my makeup look. And for the eyes, I have a lot of standbys. Of course, we're going to be using the Ulta Matte Cream Shadow in the shade Vintage Beauty. I thought that this would be really pretty for this time of year. It's more of a gray, purple brown kind of shade. I think that's a good way to describe it. And I also have beautiful glossy shadow that is a favorite of mine, and I'm going to put that right on top. This is kind of like the look that I go with really, again, on standby anytime I need to do a makeup look that I feel confident in, that I know is going to look good. This is probably the duo that I'm going to go with. I also really like the shade Game Over as well from the Ulta Matte Cream Shadows. But again, put it right on the lid, and I'll take it into the crease as well. I always like to mention whenever I do this step that this is my surefire way of making my eyeshadow last so much longer. Like, whatever I put on top, it's gonna last longer and it's not going to crease as much. You know how easy this is? It's really not a fussy liquid product, which is very important to me because a lot of liquid eyeshadows are so difficult to work with. Something else I also think is worth noting about this product is that a lot of liquid shadows typically kind of crack off as you wear them, and this just has such a soft and blendable formula that it's really easy, and this is easy to become like a go-to. I feel like a lot of you have said that you tried this product and you just absolutely love it. And that really, like, that's one of the things that I just love about connecting with you guys. Like, I love when a recommendation goes really well and you guys find products that you adore. Obviously, not everyone's gonna love everything, but it does make me feel really good. Okay, so we have that matte shadow down. We have a lot of pretty definition on the eyes, but now I need some light. I need some glossy sparkle, and this is where I always end up half the time, and this is Space Cowboy from Urban Decay. So just taking my finger and putting it and pressing it right on the eye. Just immediately, it turns any look into just the most pretty, soft, glossy look. And because we've added that matte shadow that is going to make this last longer, it's just like a surefire way for me to be like happy with my makeup. These looks are like really my absolute favorite looks to wear. This glossy shadow in particular has been one that's been a favorite of mine for a very long time, and that's why I wanted to go back and use this one as the shadow today. But I did recently do a roundup video on all of my glossy looking eyeshadows, so I will leave that link down below for you all in case you're interested. And now what I usually do is use Whiskey from Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 Glide On Pencil, and I just typically do a little bit of a wing, smoke it out, and call it a day. I mean, you guys have probably been able to tell that I love really like undone, more smoky, soft kind of looks. These products really get me there quickly and are staples for that kind of a look. This eyeshadow is super blendable. I also have it in the shade Rockstar, which I really like as well. And I'll usually pass over the outer corner like this first and just add a smoky, smoked out wing. And then I'll go back in and just like intensify it and give it more definition. I'm really not used to having my hair parted in the middle. I don't know if I'll keep it parted in the middle, but making like doing my makeup kind of awkward. And usually I'll go back in and just smoke out like the very tail end, but I want it to still be a little bit more visible as like a wing. Now this is like a very subtle wing, but you guys know what I mean. And now I will typically go in with my lash curler. This is the one from Kevyn Auccoin. I also love the one from Shiseido. Either one works, but I do highly suggest you guys get a really well-crafted eyelash curler, because it does make a difference. If you're using one that is not good quality, you can really do some serious damage to your eyes. So if you're someone like me that likes to use a lash curler pretty much every time you put on makeup, it's really important that you get a good one. All right, lashes are curled. I will tightline again with my pencil. And now the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Mascara. I am so glad that I tried this out, and a lot of you guys had recommended this one to me for a long time, and I have to tell you that I absolutely adore it, and it's really perfect for this kind of a look. Like, look at the difference. What? The dog outside agrees with me. If you want a mascara that brings the impact without it looking really heavy on the lashes, I could not recommend this one enough. Okay, things are definitely coming together. I'm going to use my Kosas Clear Brow Gel to set my brows in place. I like to kind of push them up, and especially in the front of my brows, I like to kind of take them closer to each other a little bit. I don't know, I like that look. This clear brow gel is always like something I know is going to be nice and fluffy, not heavy or wet looking in the eyebrows. Like, it's not a really shiny finish, and also it doesn't leave like little dried up pieces of clear brow gel in your eyebrows. Now I am going to put on some highlight, the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light one in the shade Spotlight. It's iconic. I love it. And it's one of the only cream highlights that I really reach for anymore. I have like around like 4 favorites that I always go back to, and this one is usually number 1 for me. Over here we have like a nice glow just softly coming from the Radiant Shiseido foundation. But do you see how that just amps it up a little bit? It gives you it's just like the perfect balance between highlight and soft luminosity that isn't super creamy, heavy on the skin. And I also find too that some cream highlights literally look thick on the skin, and it really takes away from the illusion of highlight for me. This always looks thin on the skin, because it is thin, and it sets down a touch as well. Like, it's not as blurring as the Flawless filter is. Like, if you want more of a blur, that will give it to you. But this does, I think, just look flattering on the skin. It's really a flattering product. I also have been liking the Pinkgasm Beauty Light Wand as well. I'm really liking the way that this look is turning out. I mean, no surprise to me, because I already know that I like all these products, but you guys, I try a lot of products a lot of the time, and I think trying new products is fun, and experiencing new textures is fun. I mean, I love that part of what I do here, but I also think that putting on makeup that you know is going to look good, formulas that you trust, formulas that you absolutely adore, that really gets me excited. Because who doesn't like to feel pretty, you know? I really feel like I need a little bit of chapstick. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. I don't think I've ever used a lip liner this much. And lastly, the Happy Kiss Balm, also from Charlotte Tilbury, in the shade Pillow Talk. If you are a fan of liquid lip balm textures, but you want it in a stick, that's basically what this product is. But this is perfect if you have chronically dry lips, but you want a really pretty, balmy but translucent kind of lipstick. It just looks so pillowy and soft on the lips every single time. Lastly, I'm going to add just a little bit of my Physicians Formula, the Essence of Healthy Toner and Setting Spray. Just a little bit. And the reason, I always do this, I always start talking when I put this on. The reason why I really, really adore this is that this is actually 95% galactomyces filtrate ferment. So one, if you have very sensitized skin, this is definitely the setting spray for you. It really hydrates the skin. It does set down though, like I do feel like it sets my makeup down as well. I don't know how they do it, but it really is one of the best setting sprays on the market, like period. All right, you guys, this is the completed look. Not a stitch of new makeup on my face, and I love it. God, it is such a good kind of break when you can go back to those standby products. So many beautiful, beautiful products, and I'm just really excited to share them all with you guys again for the millionth time. I hope that you guys did appreciate this video though, and if you did and you enjoyed it, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one.